but he is under attack right now from both cars as Lemon, never mind, he's not under attack. Lemon goes a little too far inside, maybe slightly pushed off. Maxi now fully attacking Web Blue through the section of corners, but again, feeding into the straight out of Tremonto here in turn 10. Great slipstream opportunity. So, coming into 13 again, he's got an opportunity here to at least be alongside, and then it's again a battle of momentum and positioning. You can see Web Blue defending inside through 13. Coming to the heavy braking zone in turn 14 here, and he's done it well. He's positioned the car well, and he's holding the inside line through here. Now Maxi with a chance to maybe try to dive down the inside, not enough momentum. To 16, and the line again. And Maxi's just going to be eating up that slipstream. Flop now back in the picture as well. So Apple and Lemon have lost time to the leaders. Both drivers making mistakes, and that's propelled Tommy to a P4 spot. Now Maxi under pressure from Floppo. 93 car looking very strong out front. Again, pole sitter, Web Blue. Would love to take home a victory in the fun race, simply for the bragging rights. Yellow flag flies. As the 25 cars moved off the track, finally, by the way, I was sitting there for like 5 laps, so the obstruction is clear now. Back to racing. So what has happened since we were away? The number 16 car further back than I would have expected. Nam just cutting completely across the track, and Web Blue out front still. Maxi looking again to pick up the slipstream into this long straightaway, longest straightaway on the track. Webb and Maxi currently out front. Maxi still has the slip. Oh, marshals! VSC flies for the moment. The number 62 car has decided to park itself in Sector 1. So all the drivers under VSC and the field bunched up again. Swerving to keep the tires warm here, all the drivers are, and the incident waiting to be cleared at the moment. As the field makes its way out of 2. Evasive action. And the incident in Sector 1 looks to have been cleared. So now, the remainder of the field pretty bunched up here. That's going to bring drivers like Apple and Lemon right back into the mix out front. Nam still doing donuts off track. So the field remains on the limiter. IB Profile, by the way, sitting P10. So not acclimatizing well to these cars yet. You can see Kavi as well, the number 26 car, technically in P6 at the moment. So a lot of the drivers from the last season of the GT sitting P10 cars, and so I'm sure after this race they'll be vocal about what they think about these cars, positive and negative. But it's produced a good amount of action out front so far. We've got a lot of drivers that are on similar paces, like I've said, so utilizing the slipstream, they're able to follow very closely. Now, on lap 7, the VSC is ending. What the hell happened behind them? Tommy! Tommy may have accidentally jumped out. Wet Blue has been leading the race more than anyone so far. Is going to lead them away once the green flag flies. They're on their way to the front stretch. Now waiting for the official announcement. Across the line and the green flag flies. So here they go. Limiters off. Maxi still sitting P2 and Flop right behind. This was the battle when the incident happened. And it is still the battle now that it has cleared up. But more than anything, Maxi is the one putting pressure. Now on Web Blue. Basically no space between these two cars. So Web Blue forced wide there. Now he's going to have the inside line onto the straight. But Maxi may have just enough to slip by. And he does. Wow. Alright, on your way now to Cavone. Turns 11 and 12 is going to be the next best overtaking opportunity, but he's not even going to wait for it. He's just going to go ahead and do it here. Web Blue, alongside, has he cleared Maxi? Yes. So lovely stuff from him. Overtake successful. Now coming to the street again, another good slipstream opportunity. This has brought Flop right back into play. Of course, when you fight, you tend to lose time, right? So here we go. Now 3 cars in the mix again, and Maxi is all over the rear diffuser of Webb. Through Sector 3. Coming into turns 14 now. Questionable track limits. Onto the brakes later than anybody else's. Maxi, he's trying to stick a nose in, but that's gonna... Through goes Hamilton! Flop to the outside, but has he pulled it off? It's enough to be alongside, and if only there was side drafting as they come through Misano to the front stretch again, and Flop's going to keep his foot in it. But he's going to lose out on slipstream, and Webb is going to get a much better exit, so he holds on. Half race distance now. And out of 2, something happened to Flop, so he's lost more time. Kavi putting a ton of pressure there. And that is Aeromix, so they're alongside. Kavi's going to dive down the inside, and Aeromix is going to pull off the track here. Contact between him and the 99 of Tom, so what happened? Was he told to hit the position back or something of the sort? I don't believe so. So for some reason, stopping on track in Sector 1. And it looks like it may have been a corner cut. Now, out front, the battle continues. So there's been... It's almost like we're watching them go around in an oval, except it's on a road course, because it's like they have restrictor plates. And, of course, that is kind of the pointed tank chassis, I know. But Maxi can be 2/10 slower through the first sector in the first couple of corners and still be right there at the end of the lap, thanks to the 2 straights. Webb has played his cards well. Flop loses more time. Kavi is shot up into the top 5 with the move on Arrow. So on to lap 10. Maxi down the inside. Has he cleared him? Through turn 15, they're side by side, and Webb Blue's got a hold to the inside. Now Maxi going to the inside as well, picks up the slipstream. You can see just how close these 2 cars are. Onto the front stretch. Both drivers not wanting to back out first into turn 1. Now it's going to go back in Maxi's favor through 2 if he can keep his nose in, but no, he's forced a little bit He just loses a bit too much momentum. If he had the inside line there, he could have had the advantage, but he's just going to have to give it up for now. Web Blue moves into the lead. Again, as soon as you fight, that brings your teammate and other drivers into the mix, and that's what's happening. So Flop, again, into the mix out front. It's a three-way battle for the lead at the moment, I think. Guys, we should start counting how many cars have ended up on track and then like bet on it on Kalshi. Over or under, guys. How many cars? What is Convene Web doing? Oh my god. Alright. When these drivers come back to the line, there's going to be 7 racing laps. Now, the tires may be a little worn. Kavi was able to get past Webb. The FIA will look into the move later. For now, he is sitting P1. So, a 7-lap sprint to decide this race as they make their way to the line. And off the limiter they go. The number 26 car pulling away. Crossing the line, Webb Blue and Maxi behind. So Kavi into the lead of the race. And do the leaders have enough rubber saved to go ahead and catch them down? You gotta utilize the slipstream. Maxi and Webb now alongside each other for what is probably the 67th time today. And Kavi defends to the inside. It's a bit personal between him and Reb right now. But that move is going to cost him. He drops all the way down to 4th. So, overextending into that corner has cost him the race lead. A bit too aggressive, a bit too personal. Now Maxi and Webb out front again, and there's Flop making an appearance. So the 3 shenanigan causers all day, once again, engaging in tomfoolery out front. But Maxi forced wide, and he's lost a ton of time. Drops multiple positions. In fact, he's probably down to P5 at the moment, if not 6th. They're 3 wide ahead of him. Floppo can V Tommy trying to make some ground as well, and Maxi still to the inside, keeps his foot in it, trying to pick up the slipstream here. His teammate Lemon propelled back into P2, and Arrows all the way up to third. So a great restart for those two guys as they take advantage of the VSC. Now into Sector 3, it's still anyone's game. The field is incredibly bunched up, but you got to be careful here. One corner can really mess you up. Maxi's gonna try to slingshot down the inside. Says, excuse me, sir, give me some room, please. And that's gonna give Tommy the lead of the race. Never mind, Tommy all the way to the outside grass. That's gonna put Ibuprofen, the man that was sitting P10, now P1. Says, thank you very much, I'll take the lead of the race, and that puts Webblue and Maxi under stress now. They've got to get past Ibuprofen out front, so the drivers verbally apologizing to each other as they've been pushing each other wide. Through that lap, ever since we restarted from the VSC, it has been guts to glory. It's been all guns blazing. So, even though it's a fun race, you still want to win. Webblue out front on lap 13, back into the lead of the race. And there is balance in the universe. Maxi under attack from both Aero Mixer and his teammate in the 33. That's going to be XX, I do believe. And they are working as a pack here. So Maxi using the slipstream from Flop at the moment to try to stay in the mix. But his entry there was not on point. So he misses the apex. And that's going to put even more of an advantage into XX and Aero Mixer's hands as they, again, putting a ton of pressure on Maxi right now for that podium position. The 33 and the 11 car right behind. And as you come now through turns 11, 12, and 13, trailing to the right towards the end of the straight, then into the heavy braking zone. So out front, Webb and Flop fighting again, and Maxi, who was there, has got a bit of work to do to get back into the mix. But here comes XX, now in front of Maxi, makes the overtake stick onto the front stretch, about to be anyways, and Aero Mixer also looking to get by out of 16s, now onto the front stretch on turn 16 and onto lap 14. So with 5 racing laps to go, you've got a full team in the mix, plus 3 other drivers right now. And Maxi is just getting shoved around a little bit, losing time in almost every single corner. So he was challenging for the race lead, now all the way down to 4th. And Floppo's lost out as well. XX pulls off the overtake, and he's into 2nd. Out front again, pace setter in quali, Webblue, the strongest so far with the new chassis. In fact, he is looking to pull himself out of range here for the slipstream, and that would almost secure it if he continues driving the way he has been. Bit of contact there between XX and Flop as Flop is trying to close the door onto the straight. Pulls the move off for now, but it's going to give him slipstream. Actually, Maxi also able to pull by, so when maybe a bit of out of frame, he was able to do something there. As he now defends again against XX and Aero Mixer, so those 3 engaging in a bit of banter as Floppo, probably the only driver of these 4 with a good chance to catch Webblue. Webblue running wide, of course, through that corner. And that's going to put Flop maybe in range to get back into the slipstream. Onto the front straightaway. Webb losing a ton of time. He's slow. Is he super clipping? Don't tell me he's super clipping. Floppo into the lead. So, huge change. Now into turn 1, Floppo leading the race. Out of 2, Webb looking to get him back. Webblue all over the rear bumper right now of Flop. Out of 3 into 4. And Webblue's going to take advantage to the inside. They're side by side. He's going to maybe slightly pull ahead now. Floppo didn't back out though, coming into the straight. So again, Spec Racing is allowing for these types of battles, but it's a battle of momentum and positioning through these corners. Because in the straightaway, you're able to gain right back up to the leaders. Is now Maxi into the mix, proving my point into P2. He's going to slingshot using that inside line on the exit to then end up ahead of Webb, and now he's challenging Floppa for the lead of the race. Here comes Max to the inside. Is it enough? Yes! He's into the lead. Just Max, the number 3 car in the lead, coming down the straightaway into sector 3. Floppa's gonna try and fight back. Aero Mixer's losing time. Webb and XX there as well. Maxi's all the way to the inside. He's got to defend low, but that means he's going to have to go earlier onto the brakes. Can Floppo do something here into the next handful of corners? A bit of contact between him and the rear left tire of Maxi, and Floppa's pushed a little bit to the left. Now Zaref is going to move into the lead of the race. Maxi misjudges the corner. He's down to 4th. XX into the lead. Flopper all over the back of him. Weblu's still there in 3rd. On their way now to turn 16. 3 racing laps to go. And as it has been all day, 5 cars, for some reason, always together out front. Floppa looks for an opening against XX, who has been propelled into the lead. He is thankful for the amount of cautions that we've had. Web Blue trying to make it happen now. He's going to have slip onto the straight, but can he get him through the corners? If he can pull his nose alongside, that'll be a great advantage. Web Blue to the inside, and XX pushed off the track, not intentionally, racing incident. And Web Blue into the lead. Now here comes Flop. They're coming into turn 8 right here. Now a bit of a straightaway into 9 and 10. So out of 9, as Webb defends to the inside, Flop going to go onto the gas here, and he's going to use the slipstream to catch back up. Webb Blue took that corner better though. And you can see him all the way down here. Through turn 11 in sector 3. On the run up now to turn 14, right-hander here coming towards 14, and then a heavy braking zone that's going to put Floppa in range onto the straightaway if he can make something happen. By the way, Aero Mixler up into P3. Now Webb loses out on the lead again. They just continue to misjudge that corner with these cars, and that's going to hand the lead back to Flop. Now here comes Aero Mixer into P2 through the inside on 16, and he's pulled off the move, and Flop is leading the race. Excuse me. So 2 laps to go as the commentator requires a new pair of glasses, and Flop runs a little bit on to the grass. Now here comes our mixer to the outside. He's just gonna go ahead and shoot right by, carrying way more momentum than Flop through there, and now he's gonna lose out another position. Webb Blue's also gonna get past him. One corner can change the entire complexity of this battle for the lead. With just 2 laps to go, you've got to nail it here. Webb and Aero Mixer out front, side by side. Webb Blue, short end of the stick through this corner, long end of the stick through the next, and he's got to make it stick to the inside of Aero Mixer, side by side for the lead. Floppa continuing to chase. Now Webb Blue's going to have to go the long way around. Unless he tries to dive his nose down the inside of the straight. He's done it! Aero Mixer sees it coming, but doesn't have enough rubber to get back onto the line. Now can he fight back down the longest straightaway at the Misano circuit? Flopper there as well. XX and Maxi also there to take advantage if these 3 leaders make a mistake. Webb Blue again, pace setter to the inside. Now under more attack than ever. This is the most pressure he's been under all race. XX getting his nose in there as well. That move has sacrificed his teammate in terms of momentum, and Flopper and XX are going to be the only ones with a chance here to chase down Webb in the final lap of this race, unless shenanigans ensue. Flopper now to the inside. He's pulling ahead of Webb. He's gonna have him into turn 1. Last lap of the race. Web Blue and Flop. XX looking to take advantage. Flop to the outside. They're side by side into 4. Out of Rio into 5. Who's gonna lead the race? You can't misjudge it here. But it looks like Flop has, if it wasn't a corner cut slowdown. And now Webb and XX out front. All the way on the run up into turn 8. Can XX steal the win from under Webb's nose? He's been the dominant racer all day. Now on the last lap of the race, it doesn't matter if you've been trailing the leaders, if you can get past, and that's exactly what X wants to do right here. If he can pull it off, this will be his best chance. He's got him for now. The 33 car in the lead. He's pushing 93. Webb's gonna fall into the slipstream. He's gonna try to get him back. Last couple of corners. Into 11, and Maxi's propelled himself back up into P3. Gains 2 positions in the last 2 laps, but he's a little far back. But maybe, just maybe, if they make a mistake out front, he can find himself in the mix, and here's Maxi. Out of 14. Webb's gonna lose out. Now he has to defend Floppa, but out front, XX has 1 more corner to go, and he's gonna do it as they come to the line. XX from nowhere steals, but also earns the VCL Fun Race victory. And by the way, Maxi brings it home, P2, a great recovery drive, and Flop beats Webb to the podium. Kavi's gonna finish in P5. And what an interesting end to this race. And Aero Mixer loses after a couple of series of unfortunate events, down to P6, and Lemon P7. Tommy P8. Legendary brings home in 9th. And that was Super in P10. I will fuck a Thanksgiving turkey.